Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. So guys, I want to basically say thank you to everybody. Thank you for everybody. I asked you guys on the last video if you can smash the like button, and you know what, I've seen a lot of you did smash the like button. I really appreciate you guys, and I really appreciate you because on YouTube it's a weird situation. Basically sometimes the algorithm goes up and down. So all of you guys, I know I have a loyal subscriber base which watch my videos, but sometimes it's probably because I don't tell you to smash the like button. You probably don't bother smashing it, but it really does help. And it really helps with the views. It really helps with the channel growth. It really helps with just get YouTube putting your videos out there. So the more you smash the like button, the more YouTube will push my videos out there. So then the more views and the more the video gets out there. And then obviously the live streams will be a lot better as well. I love the live stream. By the way, I'm going to be going live in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So stay tuned for that as well. But again, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you for smashing the like button in the previous video. If you could do the same in this video, smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like button. Let's try get 50 likes, 100 likes in this video. The more likes, the better for my channel. The better content I can bring you. The better the live streams. So yeah, guys, do me a favor, everyone, if there's 50 of you, 60 of you, whoever's watching this video, go and give the like button a smash. And if you haven't subscribed, go and give the subscribe button a smash. Hit the bell icon so then you can get notified every time I put up a video. I'd really appreciate that, guys, and thank you for the last video. And actually I'll remind you every time now, so then you can smash that like button. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you coming on the live streams. Some of you staying on there for an hour and a half, man, 2 hours, 3 hours, man. I really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. We're going to be going live later, so tune in. But yeah, let's get to this topic, guys. I want to talk about Conor Benn. So Eddie Hearn has said that he wants to make Adrien Broner fight with Conor Benn. What do you guys make of that fight? Would you be interested in an Adrien Broner Conor Benn fight? Adrien Broner has got nowhere to go right now. Adrien Broner for me is somebody's career that's, I don't know what's going on with Adrien Broner. I feel like Adrien Broner, if you pay him enough, he'll be interested in a Conor Benn fight. I think it's all about the money. Of course, Eddie Hearn's gonna want Conor Benn to fight someone like Adrien Broner because it's a huge fight. It's a huge pay-per-view fight. The hype around the fight would be massive. And Adrien Broner right now seems like a guy, firstly, he's not a welterweight. Secondly, he seems like a guy that would be easy pickings for any young prospect coming through, because one thing with Adrien Broner, he's been a huge disappointment in terms of he's a 4-weight world champion. And in terms of accomplishments, he's accomplished a lot because a 4-weight world champion's no joke. However, if you look at the fights that he's had, and we were discussing this on the live stream, all of the named fighters that he's fought, he's lost. And the biggest named fighter he fought was he won, that was Paulie Malignaggi, and that was very controversial. So Adrien Broner, it's fair to say, hasn't lived up to what, you know, the hype was around him. I think that's fair to say. And I think Eddie Hearn's probably looking at it and thinking that it's probably an easy fight for Conor, where Conor can get a huge boost in terms of profile, and it will be a good name to have on Conor Benn's resume. And they're trying to do the same with Amir Khan. They know that's a big pay-per-view fight. And even if Conor Benn was to lose fights against Adrien Broner and Amir Khan, he's going to get well compensated from it. And they can say, well, he lost to an accomplished former world champion. I think that's what the goal is. Whereas if he fights someone like Mickinson, or he fights somebody like Jaron Ennis, there's no way back because he just lost to a prospect. So it's going to be a much harder road back, where you're losing to a guy that's accomplished what Khan and Broner have done in the sport. It's an easy sell back as well if he was to lose. And also, I think they also fancy their chances against those guys, because those guys are past their best. I still think it's an intriguing fight. The problem is with Adrien Broner, he doesn't throw punches. So to be honest with you, I can't really see him beating anyone, because he just doesn't throw punches. Anyone that's gonna be dangerous, come forward, let his hands go, I just don't think Adrien Broner is going to throw. In Conor Benn, one thing, although he may have faults and he may not be as great as what they're making him out to be, but he throws punches. and he's quite spiteful, and he's hungry, he's learning. For me, Conor Benn would beat Adrien Broner. You know, I think Conor Benn beats Adrien Broner. And would Adrien Broner really take that fight? I think he would if the money's right. I think if they pay him enough money, if they pay him like, you know, millions for it, then I'm pretty sure Adrien Broner will take it, because Adrien Broner's all about the, you know, about the billions, as he calls it. You know, is that what his catchphrase is, about the billions? Or, you know, he's about the money, man. So if they pay him enough and the money's good, you know, big enough, or, you know, large enough sum of money, I'm pretty sure Broner would be interested in the fight. I don't know what you guys make of Broner, but yeah, I think if they pay him enough, I think Broner will definitely be interested. I just don't know whether you know, what Broner will want is whether Eddie will be able to pay him that, because Broner's gonna want a lot of money, man. Adrien Broner's gonna want serious money. He didn't look great in his last fight, if I'm honest with you, against Santiago. Broner, a lot of people thought he lost that fight. So you'd have to say, like, I personally think Khan would be a harder fight than Broner, if I'm totally honest with you. Khan lets his hands go. He's a lot faster. He's a lot more dangerous. Although Broner's got a better chin, I don't think Broner throws punches. So I think really you'd have to say that would be a much easier fight than the Khan fight, even at this stage. I think Khan would beat Broner, to be honest with you. Personally, I think he beats Broner comfortably. Even at this stage, I just don't think Broner throws enough punches, and I don't feel like, you know, how is he gonna win against anybody? He's just not, you know. So if Broner lets his hands go more, and he's more, you know, he's more active, his outputs, you know, he's throwing more punches, he could do something. But, you know, I feel like he throws a few punches which look great, and he's flashy, and you're like, whoa, there's something, but then he just goes into his shell again. I think after even before the Maidana fight, he didn't throw a lot of punches. He wasn't an active fighter. I wouldn't say he threw a lot of punches, because I saw him against Gavin Rees, and he threw in spurts. But Gavin Rees was just overmatched. But when he fought Paulie Malignaggi, that wasn't the greatest performance at all, to be honest with you. Especially against a Paulie Malignaggi that was past his best. So, you know, yeah, I think Broner's definitely disappointed, or he's not lived up to what we thought he would be. So the Conor Benn fight would be interesting. I want to move on to a second point about Conor Benn and David Avanesyan. I saw Carl Greaves give an interview and say that, you know, Conor Benn was offered the fight, but Conor Benn didn't want it. They wanted David Avanesyan to vacate the European title. They wanted him to vacate the European title so Conor Benn could fight for the European title. Some of the British public seem to be getting a bit, you know, I would say getting a bit frustrated with Conor Benn, in the sense that they think that he's trying to cherry pick his way to the top, rather than going through the traditional route. So fighting the British level guys. So, like, he hasn't fought anybody from Britain, in terms of, he hasn't fought Mickinson, he hasn't fought any of the, you know, like Congo, any of those guys. He's not really fought any of them. And then he's not fighting David Avanesyan, and now he's at the stage of being a European champion. He's not fighting David Avanesyan as well. So the question is that, and if he was offered the fight, and according to Carl Greaves, you know, Conor Benn turned it down, which shows, does he really want to fight David Avanesyan, like, after watching what David Avanesyan did to Josh Kelly? I don't think so. I think they're looking at it that the Broner fight would be an easier fight. It's a bigger money fight. So I can understand from a business point of view. But the fact is that Conor Benn right now is an up-and-coming fighter. He wants to make statements. And beating David Avanesyan would be a statement. Yeah, it may not be a big money fight. It may not be a bigger fight as Khan and Broner. But even though it may not be as big a money fight, from a credibility standpoint, you'd have to say that Avanesyan is more credible than Amir Khan and Adrien Broner. He definitely wasn't more credible than Khan in his prime. That's for sure, you know, but this isn't Khan in his prime. So David Avanesyan right now is a more credible and more dangerous fight for Benn, just because he's been active, just because, you know, right now, David Avanesyan on the world stage is seen as a threat. You know, I'm not saying he's a threat to the top welterweights, but what I mean by that is he's a threat in terms of he's considered a top 10, you know, a fringe top 10 welterweight, you know, if not top 10, 11, 12, you know, he's a fringe top 10 in my opinion, you know, welterweight. So that would be definitely be a great win, and it would show the boxing world that actually Conor Benn's for real. Conor Benn is a top welterweight. See, Josh Kelly failed, so Josh Kelly couldn't quite go past that hurdle. What we realized is Josh Kelly's not a top 10 welterweight. You know, he failed against a guy that was a fringe top 10 welterweight. The question is Conor Benn a top 10 welterweight? And he could prove that against David Avanesyan. But going off Carl Greaves' comments, it doesn't look like Conor Benn is confident that he beats David Avanesyan. And that's why they're not taking that fight. Otherwise, David Avanesyan just fought against Josh Kelly. So that fight would be a big fight. It's not like, you know, it would be the British boxing fans would definitely be interested in that fight. But I think Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn and his team, Tony Sims, who's a very intelligent, like Tony Sims was saying that they need a couple of more fights before they even get in the ring with someone like Amir Khan. So really, I think Tony Sims is the one behind it in the terms of, like, he's mapping out Conor Benn's career, and he doesn't think that he's ready for Khan, personally. He thinks that they're 1 or 2 fights away from that. So I reckon they'd want a Granada's fight. They probably want another fight. Then maybe middle of next year, like July time next year, is when they probably think that, you know, an Amir Khan fight probably makes sense. But as of right now, I don't even know whether Tony Sims would be that confident putting him in with Amir Khan. So I reckon they're calling these names out is because obviously he's not too far away from wanting to fight guys like that. But the problem is that Amir Khan's not really interested in Conor Benn. And I don't think Adrien Broner will be, unless the money is so crazy that it's just like a no-brainer for them guys to fight him. Otherwise, if you're Amir Khan or you're Adrien Broner, what do you gain from fighting Conor Benn? Nothing. Because what Conor Benn seems to think that, you know, he's gonna bring a huge amount of money, and like I don't think like Amir Khan's already got Kell Brook, who he's eyeing up. Adrien Broner's probably gonna have somebody that he could eye up as well. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that fight comes off. David Avanesyan would be an easy fight to make, because Avanesyan would take that fight in a heartbeat. You know, because Avanesyan's fighting, what, Liam Taylor, is it? You know, so Avanesyan's looking for a big fight. Avanesyan can't seem to get a big fight. So he's just keeping active. So, yeah, man, hopefully Conor Benn and Avanesyan can get it on, man, because I just think it's a case where they look at that fight as high risk, low reward, where there's other fights out there like Amir Khan, you know, big pay-per-view fights, you know, that are probably less risky. Like, I actually still think that Amir Khan is dangerous for Conor Benn. I still think he's dangerous because you don't know how good Conor Benn is. And Amir Khan's obviously a very offensively gifted fighter, you know, that's competed at the very highest level. He's very experienced. And experience is very important in boxing. You know, experience, especially against a guy that's very, like, a novice, really. Like, Conor Benn's improving, but he's not really been in there with anyone that's going to test him like Amir Khan can. So the fact is that I actually think even Broner would, you know, it'd be interesting. It's just that Broner doesn't throw enough punches, you know, and that's why I think that fight probably would make a lot more sense, and he could probably do that fight next. But I don't think that fight's realistic. Is Broner really going to fight Conor Benn? I doubt it. I doubt it. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys. Oh yeah, guys, remember to please smash that like button. Everyone that's watched this video, please smash that like button. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.